Thank you, Chairman Bentz. Hi, everyone. And again, thank you for being with us today in Redmond. I just want to start out by saying thank you to the Chairman for bringing the Water, Wildlife, and Fisheries Subcommittee to Deschutes County to spotlight this area and the good work you all are doing. I also want to thank my colleagues, again, who have traveled from across the country to be here today because they also realize the value of collaboration and certainty in our community's water supply. Again, Celeste and Dan, my colleagues, thank you for traveling out of your states and into our state to recognize how important this issue is. And today we're going to talk about Central Oregon's current and future water supply. We are going to discuss the challenges that have hit this area that are not unfamiliar for our West Coast friends. Years-long droughts, wildfires, and changing climate have forced water users in our basin to be creative in their approach. This summer has been no different, with the most expensive fire season on record for Oregon and the eastern side of the state being hit the hardest. Deschutes County has unfortunately seen its fair share of devastation due to the Darlene 3 and the Little Lava fires. These events underscore the need for better land management and a strong workforce, two things I have been proud to advocate for and support in the bipartisan 2024 Farm Bill. The Farm Bill included provisions that will encourage active and healthy forest management to help reduce the risk of wildfire while still protecting the surrounding environment. And to do that management, we need a strong and dependable workforce. I am proud to say that my bipartisan bill, the Jobs in the Woods Act, was included in the Farm Bill and will help address labor shortages in the forestry and conservation sectors. I know just how important this work is because healthy forests contribute to healthy watersheds. Without that, your work as farmers, ranchers, and conservationists, and frankly, just those who care about the environment you live in, become much more difficult. Nevertheless, I am proud to say that the Deschutes Basin has been a poster child for effective collaboration. But before we dig into the collaborative work, I want to take a few steps back and talk about how we got here. Bend, Oregon, and the entirety of Deschutes County has seen rapid growth, nearly doubling in population in the last 20 years. However, with such rapid growth comes growing pains. This area has not been immune from the lack of affordable housing and skyrocketing costs, not to mention the challenges of accessing affordable childcare. Yet remarkably, water usage here has stayed nearly the same. While the outlook in the early 2000s was bleak, the basin has made tremendous progress thanks to the collaboration from unlikely sources. Many groups have come together realizing that negotiating a compromise is far more appealing than fighting it out in court for years on end. This basin has seen cooperation between farmers, conservationists, and municipal users, not to mention the partnership between those with senior and junior water rights. I believe in the work these groups are doing, which is why I introduced H.R. 8428, the Deschutes River Conservancy Act, which would reauthorize the DRC working group for the next 10 years. The DRC has brought together a diverse group of stakeholders, including those in agriculture, hydroelectric production, the environmental community, the tribal community, and the representation from our state and federal government. This collective group has found creative solutions to the growing demands for water without forcing one faction to suffer at the expense of others. I have also been very supportive of PL 566 program that has resulted in millions of dollars being granted to the irrigation districts here to fund the canal piping projects. As a result, nearly 25 miles of irrigation canals have been piped, conserving nearly 15,000 acre-feet of water annually. However, there is plenty of work to be done. We will hear more about some of this work from our witnesses as well. I also want to give credit to our local governments. The cities, Redmond and Bend, have been creative in this challenge by incentivizing residents to reduce unnecessary water usage in the lawns and promoting drought-tolerant vegetation instead. I don't need to remind you all how important water is for farming, for drinking, for wildlife habitat, for fighting wildfires, and for life, which is why I'm excited to have convened this hearing today and for us to dive into more solutions to protect our water supply here in Central Oregon and be a model for the West.